We did have some relief yesterday, but that blistering heat made a comeback to the metro area today. Temperatures at DIA reaching 101 degrees, breaking a 60-year-old record. This is the second time this season that we've eclipsed the 100-degree mark. Well, that sweat-inducing heat, well, not leaving us behind just yet. Thanks for being with us. I'm Shalima Maharaj. Let's bring in 9 News Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin for more on exactly how much more we are going to have to take of this, because being outside today, you felt it.
Well, and I just poked my head out in the 9 backyard, and it's still like 88 degrees out there. You open the door, and it's just like, woo, the heat just hits you. It's very extreme for Colorado to see triple-digit highs on multiple days, and we're going to do it again tomorrow, so one more day. It's a calm and quiet night after 101 degrees in Denver, eclipsing a record set back in 1931 and 1963, and other temperature records today. Look at Greeley at 107, 104 in Pueblo, 106 in Lamar, and 103 degrees in the Grand Junction area. We have a lot of the western U.S., the Southwest, and the Plain States under some type of heat advisory. Denver and eastern Colorado under that advisory through tomorrow evening. We've been tracking some thunderstorms around the area that have produced a little relief in the form of rain. Too much of a good thing in El Paso County, with a flash flood warning posted for an inch of rain in less than an hour's time. All of that activity dying down, but temperatures, these are current temperatures at 10:01 p.m. 86 degrees in downtown Denver, still 90 in Grand Junction. And so on future cast, skies will clear. The showers come to an end. We're going to do this all over again tomorrow with only isolated showers to cool us off. And overnight, it's not much relief. We're not going to get below 70 degrees, so we're not going to cool much. And then we're headed right back into the triple digits tomorrow. But there is some relief in the extended forecast. I'll break down the timing and impact in just a bit.
All right, thanks so much for that, Kathy. We're going to check back in with you a little later on. Well, the weather certainly has not helped crews who are fighting fierce wildfires across the state. And today we learned more about a 4th firefighter who has died because of injuries he suffered while fighting the Snyder Fire in western Colorado almost a month ago. 43-year-old Nathan Matthews died yesterday. He was one of 2 firefighters injured in a burnover that killed Emily Baker, Nick Hutcherson, and Sydney Watson. He was from Lincoln, Nebraska. Now, control of that fire was passed back to local crews earlier this month as containment neared 100%. Well, all evacuation orders for the Aspen Acres Fire have been lifted, according to local officials. The team managing the fire said all evacuation zones have been reduced to either pre-evacuation or clear status. This all comes as the fire is 61% contained, having burned over 101,000 acres. Now, flash flooding continues to be a threat for the area. Custer County officials are actually asking for the public's help to fill sandbags tomorrow with storms in the forecast. Well, wildfire danger remains a major concern right across the state, and one mountain community is working to improve evacuation safety. About 4,400 people live in the Genesee Fire District, and when they learned that it would take too long to get everyone out in an emergency, they decided to do something about it: build a new road. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon and photojournalist Amy Hunter take us there.
The gate here to Genesee's new emergency route will stay closed until it's needed. And this morning, Genesee Fire Rescue tested it for the first time with residents. They were able to get 117 cars through in 35 minutes.
Good morning. Have you heard what we're doing today?
The last thing you want to worry about when a fire is approaching
We're going to start moving people any minute now.
is how to get out.
We're here to just be prepared and get ready just in case.
Kirsten Nielsen and her family have lived in Genesee for 14 years, where the fire risk is some of the highest in the nation.
I was worried because we were in the back of Genesee and the exit routes are by 70 and Grapevine, so we didn't really have an exit out.
Now they have another way to get to safety.
All entities on the Genesee evacuation drill. Let's begin exercise.
It's just a huge relief for me. Otherwise, I was thinking of getting a Kubota to take my girls out through the woods.
The new route is something Genesee Fire Rescue Chief Josh Boyle says has been a long time coming.
Yep, hold them up. We only had 2 ways in, 2 ways out, and they were separated by about 500 feet. So if there was ever a hazard that we need to mitigate in that area that people need to get away from, they would be cut off from that.
He says back in 2008, their community wildfire protection plan identified that risk.
Well, what we know is that evacuating this district prior to this road could have taken up to 4 hours.
Since then, it's taken a lot of money, engineering, and stakeholders to get this emergency road built.
This gives us an option of saying we can get this half of the district out this way and that half of the district out that way, depending on the scenario.
Construction was completed a couple of months ago in May.
The voters took it to them on their local government and said, this is something we want and this is something we're willing to pay for.
Chief Boyle says today's drill was a success.
The residents did what they were supposed to do and they drove safely. It is a steep, windy dirt road and it ends up on Highway 74.
The new emergency road cuts 13 minutes off Genesee Fire Rescue's response time to Highway 74.
And when things on fire, 13 minutes is a long time.
But it's also a secondary route, meaning it won't always be the road firefighters want residents to use during an evacuation.
So it's been difficult communication to say, don't always plan for this road, only plan for this road when we tell you, because every scenario is different.
While predicting fire behavior is never an exact science, what can matter most is being prepared.
So I want my kids and my family to be safe. Yeah, that's why this is so important to us.
With photojournalist Amy Hunter,
With these dry conditions this summer, I'm thankful for this route.
Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
Rescue teams in Pitkin County had a busy start to the weekend, responding to multiple calls. It began Friday night when the Pitkin County Sheriff's Office says they got a message that a person was lost and needed help near Pure Lakes Basin. Now, crews were eventually able to get to the person and get them out almost 16 hours after the report came in. While responding, the Sheriff's Office said they received a report of a 17-year-old hiker who was lost and stuck on a cliff in the Hayes Creek Falls area outside of Redstone. That person was able to get themselves out. Now, finally, this morning, another person was rescued after experiencing severe abdominal pain. They were taken to an area hospital. New tonight, 3 people are dead following a single car crash in Weld County. Colorado State Patrol says just after 5 p.m., a car was driving westbound on Weld County Road 80 at Weld County Road 39. That's just east of the town of Alt. They say the car veered off the right side of the road, losing control before returning to the road and rolling over. The 20-year-old driver was transported to a local hospital with critical injuries. 4 passengers were in the car. 3 were pronounced dead at the scene. 1 was taken to a local hospital with minor injuries. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Well, Denver police say they are investigating a deadly crash that forced the closure of I-25 near Auraria Parkway. In a post on social media, Denver police said a pedestrian was pronounced dead at the scene, with preliminary information suggesting she exited a stalled vehicle and was struck by oncoming traffic. I-25 has since reopened in that area. Well, protesters were outside the Capitol this morning, speaking out against ICE following a surge of activity across the country. The protests were organized by Colorado's Immigrant Partnership Team. Much of their focus was on commercial airlines and their contracts with ICE. Some of the people we spoke to said how important it was to be part of a community standing up for what they believe in.
We all have a voice. We all need to stand up and use that voice. And when we are in partnership with one another, those voices are magnified and more people hear us. And that's what it means for me to be in community with all of these other people.
Now, this is something the 9 News Investigates team detailed in our ICE Air series this week. You can watch the full hour-long documentary, ICE Air Inside America's Secret Deportation Network, streaming now for free anywhere you watch 9 News. Scan the QR code on your TV.